Today, I'm breaking down everything about the LEGO Insiders Weekend sales coming up this weekend, the 22nd and 23rd of November, plus what's coming for Black Friday weekend, which is the 28th of November through to the 1st of December. We've got double points, big discounts, multiple gifts with purchase, and tips to maximize your savings. I'm also going to be sharing my personal shopping list. Spoiler, it's ambitious is probably the right word for it. So let's crack on. But before we do, if this video inspires you to start putting together a shopping list of your own, I'd really appreciate you doing that shopping via our LEGO store affiliate link at blockpartyuk.shop. It doesn't cost you anything extra to do, but it really helps to support the channel by paying me a small commission on everything you spend, which in turn allows me to justify spending a full day writing, researching, and producing videos like this one. Plus, I spend some of it on LEGO, and LEGO's awesome. So first up, what actually is LEGO Insiders Weekend? It's running this weekend, the 22nd and 23rd of November, and this is what's happening. We've got double points on everything, and that's effectively 10% back in LEGO store credit. We also have a load of big sets that are 20 to 30% off, including some LEGO exclusives. And there are stackable gifts with purchase, which means you can get multiple gifts with purchase in one order if you plan it right. And there's a new Insiders reward, a classic space themed mini set that'll be redeemable for 2,400 Insiders points during the event. And thanks to a very handy leak from BrickTap on Reddit, we already have a provisional list of the sets that are going to be on sale during Insiders Weekend on the LEGO website and in LEGO stores. Big asterisk next to LEGO stores, it will obviously be where they have stock of these particular sets, because some of them haven't been in stock in store for a while. But that aside, it's a very, very nice list. Starting off with the sets that have 20% off, we have the City Tower, which is down from $179.99 to around $143.99. That was only released this summer just gone and is set to retire in July of 2026. We have the Creator 3-in-1 Forest Animals Red Fox, which is down from $44.99 to $35.99. That's retiring this year. The Disney Castle is down from $344.99 to around £275 and also retiring this year. Kakamora Barge from Moana is down from $89.99 to $71.99 and that retires at the end of 2026. The Der Burger restaurant from Fortnite is down from $54.99 to around $43.99 and that one also retires at the end of next year. The Big Gringotts Wizarding Bank from Harry Potter is down from $369.99 to around £295, and that's also currently set to retire in July of 2026, which I didn't realise that was retiring so soon. So I guess I now have to take the plunge on it for the LEGO City a little bit earlier than I thought. Then we have the two retiring modulars, the Boutique Hotel and the Jazz Club, both down from $199 to around $159.99, which is the same price they were at John Lewis recently. But now this is an even better deal because you will still get the double points and the gift with purchases too. And we'll have more on that a little bit later in the video. We've also got the best LEGO set ever made. The Lion Knight's Castle is down from $349.99 to around £280. It retires this year and will probably be sold out almost instantly if the Bricklink Designer Programme has taught us anything about Castle fans, and I think it probably has. And then we also have a couple of sets with a bigger 25% discount, and they both retire this year, including my favourite set of last year, the Batman animated series Gotham City Skyline, which is down from $259.99 to around £195, and the Lego Icons Land Rover Classic Defender 90, which is down from $209.99 to $157.49. Plus, we have a couple of retiring sets on an even bigger 30% discount, including the number one set on my shopping list, Ninjago City Markets, which is down from $319.99 to around $224-ish. The percentages are not quite accurate. I'm sure they won't be. We'll find out at the weekend. And there's a little something for the Trekkies. The Coruscant Guard gunship from Star Wars is down from $139.99 to around £98. Although all of those prices are UK, because that's where I am, everything I've mentioned so far is expected to be worldwide discounts. So wherever you are, you should be getting 30% off your usual local price for Ninjago City Markets, for example. And also, disclaimer, none of this is official from LEGO yet, but it is from a usually very reliable source. So although I'd always suggest taking it with a small pinch of salt and acknowledging it's all subject to change, these are pretty likely to be the actual deals, I think. And then we've also got some extra deals that are going to work differently depending on where in the world you are. The following sets are not discounted in America, but will get 4 times points in the US. But they will be getting a 20% discount in the UK and EU, but not the 4 times points, just the normal double points. And there's no news at all for Australia or anywhere else, I'm afraid. You'll have to wait and see for now. If I find out more in the meantime, I'll make another video. But the sets on this offer are the River Steamboat, which in the UK will be down from £289.99 to around £232. And that's on a set that only released in April of this year and isn't due to retire yet. In fact, none of the sets on this section of the offer are due to retire this year. They're just lovely little bonus deals. That also include the Shuttle Carrier Aircraft, which is down from £199 to around £160. Lilo and Stitch's Beach House, down from £79.99 to around £64. And a couple of botanical sets. The Pretty Pink Flower Bouquet is down from £54.99 to around £44. And the flower arrangement is down from £94.99 to around £76. The Love Art Sign is down from £69.99 to £55.99. And the Lego City Central train station is down from £79.99 to around £64. Then we also have Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which won't be on discount in the UK or EU at all, but is expected to be 4 times insider points in all regions. No idea why some of the deals are 4 times points in the US and discounts in the EU, but that specific one is 4 times points everywhere, which is a little frustrating because that's one I probably would have picked up, certainly at 20% off, because 20% off with double points is a much better deal than the 4 times points that the US are getting all of these sets. But it's just Lego things. I don't really understand the decision-making process. And then, of course, another highlight of Insiders Weekend is the stackable free gifts that you can earn. LEGO have confirmed 3 gift with purchases for the event, and these offers will return for Black Friday weekend as well, but won't be available in the gap in between, which is the 24th to the 27th of November. So don't be doing any LEGO shopping then. But for Insiders Weekend and Black Friday weekend, the free gifts are the Mini Knights Castle gift with purchase, which is a microscale tribute to classic castle sets. That one's going to be available on spends over £225. And then we've got the Hot Chocolate Stand, which is going to be free with spends over £155. And the Baby Gorilla Poly Bag, which is going to be free with spends over £35 on selected themes, specifically City, Ninjago, Dreams, or Friends. It's also important to note that these thresholds are stackable, meaning if you spend £225 on a Ninjago order, for example, you will get all 3 gifts, the castle, the hot chocolate stand, and the Gorilla Poly Bag in one go. However, remember that gifts with purchase are time limited. They're only going to be available on the 22nd and the 23rd of November, and then again from the 28th of November until the 1st of December for Black Friday, while stocks last, in big capital letters. If they run out, obviously they'll have to stop giving them away at that point. And I will emphasize again that if you do your shopping between the 2 events, you won't get the free gifts. Also, double points apply only on the 22nd and the 23rd of November. The Black Friday event period will have the gifts with purchase and the discounts, but it will just be standard points. It's very complicated. So let's run through an example of how all this stacks together and works out to be some pretty incredible deals using the number 1 set on my shopping list, Ninjago City Markets, as the example. So this set is normally $319.99, but during the sale it's 30% off. So you'll pay about $223.99 for it. Like I say, I'm not sure how exact they're going to be with the percentage discounts. They might just round them up to shoppable numbers. But either way, that's an instant saving of nearly £100, around £96 off of the original retail price for a massive 6,000 plus piece set. Getting that for £224 is a steal. For context, that's cheaper than the smaller Ninjago City Gardens set was when that came out originally. But that price is likely to be just shy of the £225 needed for the top tier gift with purchase, which you probably will get away with in store. They'll probably give you the gift with purchase anyway, but online you will need to add a small item to your cart, even if it's just like a £3.49 collectible minifigure pack or a keyring or something like that, but you will need to bump it over £225 to get the top gift with purchase. But by doing that, you're just over £225 largely Ninjago order will qualify for all of the freebies. So you'll get that Mini Knights Castle with the £225 threshold, the hot chocolate stand with the £155 threshold, and the Gorilla Polybag with the £35 theme specific threshold where Ninjago is an eligible theme, and they'll just be added to your basket automatically. That is 3 bonus sets added for free. And these gifts can potentially have significant value. The Castle mini set in particular is probably going to be quite sought after and might well go for £20 to £30 on its own on eBay if you decide to sell it. So you are gaining a lot of extra value with those gifts with purchase. And because the purchase is during Insiders Weekend, you also earn double points on the total. So again, on a roughly £225 spend, that's around 3,600 points. Since normally £1 is 8 points, double points gets you 16 points per pound spent. Or in other words, you get roughly £22.50 worth of points that you can then spend on future purchases or Insiders rewards. So it's effectively an extra 10% rebate in-store credit. And those points are obviously great for knocking money off your next order or redeeming for other rewards like the Insiders Reward set that we'll get to in a little bit. So to just summarize the value that we're getting here, because it is pretty incredible, we're going to total it up. You pay around £225 out of pocket for Ninjago City Markets. For that, you're getting a set that was originally £320, so you're saving £96 straight away. You also receive 3 gift with purchase sets, which let's say they've got a value of maybe £40 combined for the 3 of them. I think I'm probably being a bit conservative there, but we'll estimate £40 for their value. And you'll have around £22 in points to spend later. So essentially, your effective cost after factoring all those points and everything in is closer to £200, and you're getting £360 plus worth of products, the set that you're buying plus the gift with purchase. And that's an insane deal and showcases why we love stacking Insiders events like this. It is the perfect time to buy those big sets that have been on your wish list for a while. So in short, if you plan your purchase right, Insiders Weekend lets you double dip on a sale, bonus discounts, free gifts, and loyalty points all at once. The Ninjago Market scenario above is exactly what I'll be aiming for in all of my own shopping. And it's also worth mentioning, if you're lucky enough to be planning a big order, like a big order, you can split up your online shopping into roughly £225 orders and then place multiple orders to get multiple gifts with purchase. You probably won't get away with that trick in store because gifts with purchase are officially limited to 1 per person, but online they always just go through as 1 per order. So if you place multiple orders, you're going to get multiple freebies. And speaking of that, this is my current plan for this weekend. Number 1, as I say, Ninjago City Markets. It's top of the list, no question. I will be very upset if that sells out before I get my sticky little fingers on it. Number 2, I think it's finally time for me to get the City Tower. I am a big Lego City fan and it's got 20% off and it retires next summer. The time has finally come. You've seen me looking at this on store shelves many times at this point. It's finally time. And then 3, I think I've got to get Gringotts Bank. I've already got Diagon Alley and it needs a friend. And I've never seen it this cheap. It also retires next summer. So this is probably the last chance to get it on a deal like this. And then number 4 is maybe something secret for Anna's Christmas present, which I can't tell you about because one of you will spoil it for her on the next stream that she's on because you're all monsters. but there probably will be a fourth order. And I'll probably add a couple of smaller bits where they're needed too, to try and get those up to 4 separate £225 plus orders for 4 sets of the gifts with purchase, because why not? And I promise I will do a haul video when it all arrives. I just might not show you Anna's Christmas present until Christmas. And let me know down in the comments what's on your list. I love hearing what everybody's planning to grab. It gives me inspiration, but also remember to budget responsibly. It is easy to get carried away with all these savings, but don't spend money you don't have. That's not actually saving. Nobody should be getting in debt to buy Lego sets. There will always be other sets. There will always be other sales. And in fact, on that topic, once Insiders Weekend does wrap up, we then get a short breather of just a few days, and then Black Friday kicks in from the 28th of November until the 1st of December. And here's what to expect for Black Friday and Cyber Monday period. Firstly, we've got the launch of the first ever Star Trek set, the Enterprise. This set releases on Black Friday, so expect the Lego store and Lego.com to be extra busy that day. I have heard a few rumours that Star Trek fans sometimes have a tendency to be quite enthusiastic. Lego have also hinted that there'll be additional sets on sale starting on the 28th of November, on top of the ones that we've already listed that are still in stock by then. Some of them will be gone by that point, I'm sure. We don't have a list of those yet, but keep an eye out for potentially different themes or newly discounted sets for Black Friday. For example, last year, Lego added a couple of big Star Wars and Technic sets to the Black Friday roster. And don't worry, I'll update or do a follow-up once we know what the Black Friday deals are, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for that info when it appears. It's also important to note that double insiders points will not apply. During Black Friday weekend as things stand. The 2 times points promo is exclusive to Insiders Weekend only. By Black Friday, we're back to standard points on purchases. So while there will be sales and there will be gifts with purchase, your purchases won't get that extra 10% back in points. It'll just be the normal 5%. So if you are after maximum value and you can afford to do it, it's better to snag something during Insiders Weekend rather than waiting, unless, of course, the set you want isn't on sale until Black Friday itself. The gift with purchase offers from Insiders Weekend are expected to return for the Black Friday event. Essentially, Lego often runs the same thresholds again to entice Black Friday shoppers who missed Insiders Weekend. So, if you can't buy on the 22nd or 23rd, you do get a second chance on the freebies from the 28th onwards while stocks last. If they run out, they won't be available anymore. I shouldn't have to say that, but I feel like I have to say that. So mark your calendars so you don't miss the Black Friday offers, but also don't assume a set available now will still be around then. Although all of the sets that I've listed as discounted theoretically run all the way through to Cyber Monday, some popular sets that go on sale will sell out very, very, very quickly. I'm expecting some of them to be gone within the hour when they go on sale at midnight on Saturday morning. It's certainly what's happened on previous Lego VIP events. So if something is a must-have for you and it goes on sale on the 22nd of November, I'd advise grabbing it there and then rather than gambling on it still being around later on. That being said, if something does go out of stock, it might come back. We saw it during Insiders Weekend last year. We kind of got to they had this weird thing where every afternoon stuff would come back in stock for a couple of hours. I guess, I don't know why. Maybe they were holding some back. Maybe it was returns. Maybe they were just making sure they didn't completely sell out. But there could, even if something sells out immediately, it could come back. So you're going to have to keep an eye on the website and my TikTok. And also, keep in mind, Lego isn't the only place with sales. In fact, many retailers have launched Black Friday deals early in November. Amazon's Black Friday sale kicks off this Thursday, 20th of November, and they often have big discounts on select Lego sets, sometimes even bigger discounts than Lego's own site, but it does vary. I'll be watching Amazon's sale for any standout bargains, and we will have a video out specifically about Amazon's Black Friday later this week. And a lot of the usual suspects like Argos, John Lewis, Smiths, etc. have already started rolling out Lego discounts this month. For example, Smiths had some sets 20 to 30% off in mid-November. Argos ran a 3 for 2 on toys. Be sure to compare prices. You might find that a set not on sale at Lego.com is on offer elsewhere. Just remember, buying direct from Lego during Insiders Weekend does get you those points and the gift for purchase, which can sometimes outweigh a slightly lower price elsewhere. It's always a balance. I won't go deep into third-party retailer deals here, mainly because I did a whole other video on that we released last week. But I did want to remind you that smart shoppers check multiple stores. If a set you want isn't discounted through Lego's event, have a look around. You might score it with a good deal at a retailer. And vice versa, some Lego exclusives can only be bought from Lego, so the Insiders sale is the only time you'll see a discount on those. Ninjago being a really good example of that. And then before we wrap things up, one last treat for the Lego Insiders out there, which should be all of you, especially if you're a classic space fan. During Insiders Weekend, Lego is launching a new Insiders exclusive reward in the VIP Reward Center. For 2,400 Insiders points, you can redeem the Retro Space Explorer mini set. It's a small build that features a classic blue spaceman and a mini spaceship on a display stand. Basically, it looks like a tiny slice of childhood Lego and is very much a love letter to the old Lego space theme. And make sure you understand that reward is not a gift with purchase. Instead, you spend your points to get it. Kind of like the previous blue Mario Kart shell, if you remember that from earlier in the year. It's first come, first served and available starting from Insiders Weekend onwards. Lego Insiders Weekend 2025 is shaping up to be one of the best shopping events of the year for Lego fans. We have hefty discounts on sought-after sets, the rare double points bonus, and some really cool gift with purchase items stacking together. It's essentially the Black Friday warm-up, but arguably even better value due to the points. Whether you're buying to build, to gift, or even to invest, this is the time to pounce on those sets you've been eyeing. Just a couple of friendly reminders to close on. Plan your purchases. Make sure you hit the gift with purchase thresholds if you're close. Throw in a small item rather than leaving £5 on the table. And be ready at the start of the promo if you're after something that's likely to sell out. Insiders Weekend starts Saturday the 22nd November at midnight, Friday going into Saturday, and runs through until the end of Sunday the 23rd. After that, the next wave is Black Friday on the 28th. I'll be around covering any new info that pops up on the 28th deals, and I am super excited for this weekend. I've got my list ready and my fingers crossed that the Lego site doesn't crash too many times or for too long under the load. I hope this rundown helped you map out your strategy too. If you did find this useful, a great way to say thank you is to do your Insiders Weekend shopping via our affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything more to do. You still get all the discounts and freebies, but we earn a small commission on everything you spend, which helps us continue to make content like this for the channel full time. And don't forget to leave a comment with your shopping list or any deals you're excited about. I'd love to hear what everyone is going for. Are you splurging on a big set like the Eiffel Tower or the Millennium Falcon if it goes on sale? Are you stacking up smaller sets to get those gifts with purchase? Let's chat about it down in the comments. And ultimately, good luck for the weekend. Thank you for watching. Toodle pip.